Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a free way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. Very quick side note, a lot of people have been quite vocal the last couple of days in letting me know that something is wrong with my microphone, or something's not sounding right, or something's not so-and-so, using very colorful language. For those of you who have not realized, I'm in a different place. There's construction going on. I do not have my normal setup. This is not a brand new microphone. This is the same exact microphone, except I had to take it apart and put it back together while I'm away. The point is, I'm trying to get it together. So thank you very much for those of you who've been understanding, and I tip my hat to all of you who've just used nothing but profanity and other really weird words trying to tell me to get a brand new microphone without even trying to understand the situation. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market are currently doing extremely well. There was very little price news, and I mean a smidge of a smidge, if you even want to kind of say that. Basically, the entire cryptocurrency market is going up because of one person. Yet again, I don't think he's learned. I don't think he cares to learn. But alas, this is just where we are. Tesla CEO Elon Musk says his electric vehicle company will start accepting Bitcoin payments again once there's confirmation that miners are utilizing clean energy, offering a glimmer of hope surrounding digital assets could soon subside. I wrote this on Twitter. I know it sounded like a joke, but it wasn't a joke. I wrote something along the lines of how great it would be if our market moved up because of actual news and because of new developments that we have, and not because Elon Musk moved his fingers across his smartphone and wrote on Twitter. Musk responded to a Cointelegraph tweet about recent allegations from Signia CEO Magdo, which we went over yesterday, I believe, who called on the US SEC to investigate the billionaire for allegedly manipulating Bitcoin's price. This is what she said from the article. Elon Musk responded to Cointelegraph saying this is inaccurate. Tesla only sold 10% of its holdings to confirm Bitcoin could be liquidated easily without moving the market. For those of you who were not here, this was had to be 2 months ago at this point. Tesla announced that they acquired a huge amount of Bitcoin. They were relatively silent for a while, and then at some point they announced that they had actually sold 10% of their holdings to recuperate their initial investment. And the purpose of them selling it, they also said, was to see that the market was actually liquid, that they could sell billions of dollars, I think it was whatever, hundreds of whatever, worth of Bitcoin without moving the market at all. And apparently they did. None of us noticed any movements in the market as that sell order went in. He continued saying, when there's confirmation of reasonable, more than 50% clean energy usage by miners with positive future trend, Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions, basically stating his entire purpose, or bad whatever before, was that we have to stop using Bitcoin or accepting Bitcoin because the percentage of, he basically wants it to have clean energy. I still don't think that that's the actual reason why all this is going on. I do myself personally believe he knows exactly what he's doing. He knows that he's moving the market. He knows how to move the market. He knows how to put things in his favor and out of his favor. There was news even yesterday. It was kind of just floating around randomly on different spots. There was another, I don't even know what to call it. Another source, I don't know, who said they see indications that the reaccumulation period was ending. Basically, the period where prices are going sideways. We've had these thousands of times. Prices are going sideways for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, usually indicating that the whales are buying up massively. We've had news just about every single day as well that whales were buying up huge amounts of Bitcoin. We had news yesterday, I believe it was, that they're one of the oldest wallets on the planet and one of the largest as well. I think of the top 4 wallets, that they had accumulated like 19,000 Bitcoin while prices were dropping. So it's a bit kind of that in that area. And then like an hour later, this news came out and people were making the same exact joke. They were like, well, I guess the whales have stopped accumulating because they knew that he'd be able to move the price. So that's the reason why our prices are moving up. Bitcoin, the last time I checked, was up by 12%. Much of the market was up by around 5 to 9%, give or take, somewhere around there. It's a bit weird. It kind of is what it is. I know that people trade based on news and things that they're hearing or what kind of news they think will be most significant to the cryptocurrency market and therefore its movements. But once again, this man has moved our market upward. Just remember, he can giveth and he can taketh away. So at some point, we are probably going to be in a situation where in 5 weeks, he thinks Bitcoin's right arm isn't big enough because it doesn't have enough pepper spray. I don't know, even know what I'm trying to say. But alas, then Bitcoin's price will drop and everyone will be upset with him again. But for the moment, he gets to sit in the sunshine of the cryptocurrency space because he's moved prices back up, which doesn't make any sense because there's so many other things happening every single day. This man tweeted. He didn't move a rock. He didn't move a mountain. He didn't do anything significant. He said maybe at some point in the future, when mining equipment and mining so-and-so has renewable energy sources, we will then re-accept Bitcoin. And that moved us up 12%, while an entire country accepting Bitcoin as legal tender, I think, caused us to go down by 1% that day. Anyway, that's the Muskie news. And let's move on. In news that should have actually moved the market, but I think it had no actual significance at all because we had news about this about 2 hours before the entire Elon Musk thing. Taproot, the most significant improvement to Bitcoin's protocol in years, now has enough mining support to lock in activation according to the parameters set by the speedy trial. If at least 90% of the blocks mined in any of the designated 2-week difficulty periods gave a signal for their support for the upgrade when the activation process can begin. To be more precise, 1,815 of the 2,016 blocks mined within a period have to include a little piece of encoded information that indicates that the miner who mined that block is in favor of the upgrade during this second difficulty period. I don't have to read all this stuff. These numbers are nonsense. So basically what happened is that as it works on consensus, you need the network to have a majority consensus to all give a thumbs up to basically say, hey, we want this to happen on the network. We had a 90% lock-in, or 90% of the network was signaling for a yes. And then I believe it went to 95%, and I think it ended at 99% actually signaling in favor of this activation happening. And you can see all the little green dots giving their little green thumbs up and all that other stuff. So as of right now, Taproot, I believe, has been locked in to the network. This is going to be incredible. I know a lot of people won't really care for it, but it leads us on the road to having other upgrades. It'll increase the security of the network. It'll allow for some type of private transactions to be able to take place. I still think that we should be a lot further on Bitcoin upgrades. We should be we should have complete private transactions at this point. But I think, assumption, this is my brain, I think a lot of the upgrades that we have are kind of planned on purpose to not really scare regulators. We already see the spreading out of popularity of Bitcoin rising dramatically, very, very fast. And I think if we had other countries adopting it with complete private transactions, I think regulators would have completely lost their minds already. But it will come. We will have complete private transactions. Anyway, the point is, so Taproot has been locked in. This is absolutely major news. No one's really paying attention to it because, once again, Elon Musk moved his fingers across his smartphone. So now it's locked in for November. This is going to be absolutely great. Other coins will begin to follow suit and yada, yada, yada. Really, really cool. Let's move on. In news that should have also... No. One of the really weird things that I keep seeing, and this lets me know that people have not been in the cryptocurrency space for a long time. So many people don't see the significance of any other country, and I mean any, ANY, other country getting into crypto except for the United States and the entirety of Europe getting into the space as anything significant. So we keep having news that these other smaller countries are getting into the space, and I'm seeing a lot of comments here. I'm seeing a lot of them on Twitter, on Reddit, many other places where people are basically saying, well, El Salvador is a very small country. Who cares if there are 10 million people get into Bitcoin, start using Bitcoin, start buying Bitcoin, start trading Bitcoin? And once again, this lets me know that you haven't been here for a long time because you don't understand that this is the step for every other country also accepting Bitcoin. The early movers in this space will be the richest movers in the future. So once again, just a little side note, because I see a lot of people just really not caring. They think that only one domino has to fall, and you are clearly mistaken because you don't understand that as the smaller countries get into it, they're going to be accumulating large amounts of Bitcoin, which means that by the time that we get an official statement from the United States that they're into Bitcoin, there won't be even enough for them. And now that's the government. That's the government accumulating. You're not even thinking of the actual smaller people. So that's another thing entirely. Anyway, Tanzania appears to be the latest emerging economy poised to embrace Bitcoin and crypto assets. On the 14th of June, Tanzania President Samia Suluhu Hassan urged the country's central bank to begin exploring crypto assets. Hassan emphasized the increasing impact of digital assets on global finance, stating, "We have witnessed the emergence of a new journey through the internet." She highlighted the lack of crypto adoption and development in the East Asian region, African region, stating, "Throughout the region, including Tanzania, they have not accepted or started using these routes." She said, "My call to the central bank is that you should start working on that development. The central bank should be ready for the changes and not be caught unprepared." So there's a couple of things here. We're getting a lot of conversations like this that are happening, and this could actually be taken multiple ways depending on how you're actually looking through the scope of all of this. There are a lot of countries who are calling on their central banks and even their governments and all these other things to start not adopting crypto assets, but really get a leg up on them. Understand what they are. Let's start making legislative mandates and yada, yada, yada to get these things actually legal. But at the same exact time, and there's no actual confirmation anywhere here, this could also be a call for a central bank digital currency, which I think would be a bit more believable because we also got something similar here. Not exactly sure when this was. About a day and a half ago. It says Russia's foreign minister says crypto will inevitably play a role in international trade. Part of the issue is that a lot of government leaders are calling central bank digital currencies cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are permissionless. They are ready and able for you to be used at a moment's notice. The cryptocurrencies are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. It's things that don't have a leader, but the governments, whether they know it or not, keep using the word cryptocurrency to mean a central bank digital currency. What we are going to have, and this tug of war is going to continue, this is not going to be an overnight thing. We are going to have the rapid emergence of central bank digital currencies. And once again, if you have any friends or if you yourself have any doubts, don't forget these are going to be digital versions of what they already have. We've seen a lot of, over the last 2 years, a lot of other failing economies. And I mean not US failing, not Turkey failing, but like Venezuela plus failing countries who've announced that they're going to be making central bank digital currencies, and these will do absolutely nothing. They're trying to follow the trend because everyone continuously tries to follow the United States, and this will be their economic undoing, if you will. Anyway, so they're trying to find a way to really get control of everything. I mean, they control everything. You have to understand that these people have controlled everything for forever, for as long as we've been around. They've continuously noted that cryptocurrencies, actual decentralized cryptocurrencies, are not a threat. And now that they realize, there was some, I don't think I have it in here, there was some economic minister, I think it was from the Netherlands, I want to say Netherlands, who recently announced that the government should even ban Bitcoin. He says because he said if Bitcoin gets integrated into everything, and our economy is reliant on Bitcoin, and should Bitcoin have a price crash, this would destroy the world's economy. Not understanding that by the time we get to $1 million Bitcoin won't be having price crashes anymore, because entire governments will be using Bitcoin and Bitcoin. So the stability of the market, I'm not sure if people are just really afraid. I'm sure they are. You have to try to think of it from their perspective, not saying that you have to agree with them, but more so kind of open your eyes to see what they feel or what they're trying to think. They've lived in a world where they've controlled everything. They've controlled your TV. They've controlled every single thing that you've absorbed or that you've known. And the fact that they don't control Bitcoin at all, the most they can do is buy some mining equipment from a company and start mining it themselves. I'm sure pretty much destroys them mentally. Anyway, so yeah, this came after Russia announced that they were going to be stopping the use of, or rather taking away US dollars from their reserves because of all the sanctions that they have on them, which also then kind of leads us into our very next story. But anyway, that's the government's adopting crypto, air quotes, if you will, because they have, I don't think they really even understand what they're talking about at this point. I think this is also, no, this is part of it as well. Yeah, sorry. Hold on, wait. There we go. Yeah, this is also part of it as well, for just kind of ending on the thought that we've had about countries using cryptocurrencies to kind of get around sanctions. Not super important, but what we've seen before is that so many countries are sorry, it's just like there's so much happening at one time, and the only thing that really gets any focus is Elon Musk's fingers. And I know that even sounds weird as a sentence to even say out loud, but countries around the world are rapidly adopting cryptocurrency, like actual decentralized cryptocurrencies. And no one's really taking notice. No one is actually caring. Nearly all countries right now that are currently under U.S. sanctions, we've had news that they're very deep into Bitcoin. They're mining Bitcoin. It's actually helping their economies. But you'll never see this on actual like news that you would see on TV, which is a bit strange. This is kind of for everyone else who really didn't see this over the last couple of months, because it ties directly into the Tanzania and the Russia thing. Everyone keeps saying that they're stopping the use of US dollars, or they're thinking of using some type of other way to make money in their country. And yeah, anyway, so that's, the world is changing, but no one's paying attention. Have you really noticed or not noticed how different everything is from 2 years ago? And I mean, like, even, I mean, I'm sure 19 was a very big part of it, but don't you realize or feel in the air how everything is dramatically different? There are all these, have you seen the videos online or even read about these things? There are all these like mega property companies who are buying up hundreds of thousands of properties all around the world. Like, and I mean, like, we what we're seeing is, it's not even a wealth transfer. It is in the future, you will not be able to own a house or land transfer. They are buying up everything rapidly right now. It's another like mimic of 2011, 2012, where all the property that was there before was kind of bought up by these super rich companies. And when you actually like look further into it, and I mean, just they'll say it blatantly as well. Like, they're competing with about 15 other companies who are doing the exact same thing, who are basically trying to buy up the world. And at the same exact time, you have this devaluation of the largest currencies on the planet, the movement up in Bitcoin, the accumulation by the richest people on the planet for Bitcoin and crypto assets. Nothing is really affordable anymore. Food is getting more expensive. Like, it's moving at such a rapid pace. And then you look online and people are just dancing on Instagram and posting photos of their dogs. Not that you shouldn't post photos of your adorable dog, but yeah, this is gonna, I said it a couple years ago, but now it's kind of freaking me out that it's all coming true. We're gonna live in a very weird world in about 5 years. I think the only people who are really going to be well off, now this is my opinion, are people who have crypto assets, because I still think that a lot of jobs are going to be disappearing. We've seen them disappear during 19. You might have noticed nearly all of my friends lost their jobs. We are going to see the continuation of automation. I think this got stopped very briefly around April, March 2020 because of the situation that we had. But you've gone to supermarkets. You may have noticed some of them are completely automated. We have self-driving cars, self-driving buses, self-driving trains, self-driving trucks. We have robots. We have drones who deliver stuff now. It's so I think that the movement of money is going to change hands from the rich to the richest. People who manage to get any type of fragment of a Bitcoin or any other crypto asset. These are the people who are going to be, I predict a very dystopian world. And I am sure some other people agree with me, and other people may simply not understand what I'm talking about, because I know a lot of people really only care about the price of the cryptocurrency market. They plan on cashing out and buying. I saw something yesterday where somebody was talking about, he was going through the math and like how much he needed to be able to cash out to buy a Lambo and to buy something else. And I was like, oh, it was just so cringy. Didn't mean to get off tangent, but we're gonna have to have this conversation again, like actually in depth at some point, because the world is changing right in front of our eyes. Even people in the cryptocurrency space aren't really paying attention, but people outside of it definitely are not paying attention. They're not investing. How many of you have friends who are not investing, have never invested, have no interest in investing, have no pension fund, have no 401k, have no retirement savings, anything? A lot of people think that the same system that we have right now is just going to continue forever. If you've never done so, use your local search engine and look up like retirement funds drying out. You'll find tons of, like, this isn't like brand new news that came out yesterday. It's stuff that has been out for about 10 years now. It's been predicted, and about 5 years ago, everyone was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a major problem. By around the year 2045, an enormous amount of retirement funds and like government pension funds will have completely run out. And I don't mean that as a joke. That's not to scare you. That is explicitly, they will have no more money. The entire way that the system works is you work, you retire, and younger people pay into the pension fund, and that is what gives money to the older people in the system. So what happens is that as we continue to get older, there are now people. There's a woman, I think it was like 120, walking around on the planet. As science continues to allow us to live a lot longer, and young people aren't having the same jobs that they had before. Like, young people don't have these pension jobs anymore. They now have these, what do you call them? Like gig economy jobs. I'm pretty sure you've seen them running around your city on a bike or on a scooter delivering food, or they're interns, or they work inside of a supermarket, or they have these like really other small part-time jobs. So they're not paying into the system at all. The older people continue to get older. So the point to be made is people our age, anywhere from, listen, if you are younger than 40, you are probably not going to have a retirement fund. There will be nothing left. This is already happening in a lot of countries. The same exact way that we see Bitcoin adoption happening before our eyes, but we don't see it on actual television. It's the same exact thing. Like, there are people right now who will never be able to retire because the government doesn't have any more money for them. And this is going to happen in Europe, in the UK, in America, in Canada, and everywhere else at the exact same time. So this is why I think we see this huge, rich global push towards them accumulating so much cryptocurrencies. Why do you think we keep getting all this news that as prices are dropping, whales are buying up 40,000 Bitcoin in one day? It's not a coincidence. So anyway, didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but we have to talk about this at some point, because I don't want you to all think that that governments are integrating Bitcoin into their systems because they're expecting Bitcoin to go to 100K and then they go, oh, well, we can unintegrate it now. That was a really good bull run. No, they're expecting these pension funds and hedge funds and government and family funds and banks integrating Bitcoin. They're planning on Bitcoin being around for at least another 100 years. This is why they're trying to accumulate as much now when prices are low, so that eventually when Bitcoin does potentially hit $50 million, they hold all of it. But then if all the world's wealth has moved into Bitcoin, those who don't have Bitcoin or crypto assets, where does that leave them? That leaves them with nothing. So anyway, that's all that news. Just had to get that out of my system, because so many, you wouldn't believe how many people in the crypto space don't even care. There are a lot of people who are going to be really upset in 20 years when they have nothing left and can't retire. There's so many people who cashed out of Bitcoin years and years and years ago. They made maybe, a cool million. They cashed out of everything. They sold everything. They thought that Bitcoin wasn't going to go any higher. And now they can't even accumulate one Bitcoin. Anyway, so that's all that news. Let's move on. Next up, Victory Capital An investment management firm with over $157 billion in assets under management has announced its plans to enter the cryptocurrency market with the launch of a private fund. Because, of course, according to an announcement the firm published, the private fund comes after it signed an exclusive agreement with NASDAQ and crypto-focused asset manager Hashdex, and it will be the private fund will be available for accredited investors, that is rich people, and will track the NCI, that is the NASDAQ Crypto Index. The firm will also offer private funds tracking the NASDAQ Bitcoin Reference Price Index and the NASDAQ Ethereum Price Index. The firm's president, Manik Dillon, was quoted saying, "We continually strive to provide our clients with the forward-thinking choices they want," sure, "and believe cryptocurrency is a viable asset class that can be part of the well-diverse portfolio." There are so many asset managers who keep making sure to note, they go, "Well, we're doing this for our customers. There's no other reason. It's not that we want the money. We are trying to be forward-thinking." We know exactly why they're getting into the cryptocurrency space. Here's the actual announcement for it right here. On Business Wire, Victory Capital announces plans to enter the cryptocurrency market. I always feel myself that these companies are well into the cryptocurrency market. I never assume that any of these companies or institutions are getting into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency randomly and simply go on a Tuesday, "Hey, let's get into crypto." Wednesday, they announce it. I assume they've been in for a while, accumulating themselves, trying to get as much as they want or as much as they need, because they usually assume with any announcement this will cause the price to move up in some sort of way, or prices will go up. It's all about just accumulation. They accumulate before they announce anything, because that's how it works. Same exact thing with all those other crypto YouTubers. They tell you about Toenail Coin after they have Toenail Coin. Toenail Coin goes up by 45%, and they go, "Well, you did make money from it, but they've also made about a good 38,000% from that coin." Anyway, that's the victory news. Let's move on. Next up, in also unsurprising news, because this is how it works, demand for Bitcoin among Canadian investors has not wavered amid the latest price correction, offering further evidence that market participants are capitalizing on heavily discounted prices. Yes, when prices fall, rich people buy. When prices fall, I don't like the word poor people. Other people who don't understand what's going on, they sell. And what happens is, when they sell, the rich people continuously buy. Bitcoin is incredibly finite. There's not a lot of it actually out there, and they're buying all of it. So every time people sell their Bitcoin, it is being bought up by rich people, and the people who sold will never, ever be able to have that much Bitcoin again. The Purpose Bitcoin ETF, which launched in February, has now accumulated 19,692 BTC as of the 13th of June. The ETF added 284 Bitcoin over the past 7 days, and nearly 2,000 since the 15th of May, when our market started falling. In fact, the ETF added to its holdings during the May 19th flash crash that saw Bitcoin wick down below 30,000 before quickly recovering. Yeah, you remember that, right? Where Bitcoin was dropping for no apparent reason, it hit 29,000 and then went right back up a couple seconds later. So the point is, all these ETFs around the world, especially the Canadian ones, I think there's like 3 or 4 Canadian ones that are like exclusively for Bitcoin. We get news all the time that they continuously are buying more, but just want to make sure. I know it's not the most exciting news, and I can imagine people rolling their eyes when they hear stuff like this, because I usually see a very strong trend in people. Like you can see it on the actual YouTube metrics. People tend to care a lot more when I just talk about prices and how rich they're going to get, and how happy you're gonna be in about 6 months when the prices explode. But no one pays it to, like, this is all happening this year. Think of how much accumulation has taken place. It is still June. It is not August. It is not October. It is not December. Think of how much accumulation is happening already this year, how much is going to continue happening, as it is expected that prices will move up as the year goes on. How many more ETFs and ETNs and ETPs are going to be starting, activating, getting into the cryptocurrency space? We still don't have any US ones, which I don't think we're ever going to actually have them. All this accumulation is happening, and people aren't paying attention to the bigger picture. These companies are going to be holding on to this Bitcoin for, I dare use the word generations, but anyway, so the point is ETFs keep accumulating, and that's just one ETF. There are about, 50 around the world right now who are doing this, and that's not family offices and other institutions and stock exchanges, don't forget that one, who are also accumulating Bitcoin. Anyway, that's the Canadian Bitcoin ETF is still buying up cryptocurrency news. And let's move on. And to finish things off, I thought this one was interesting, so I decided to add it into it because, life. It says UK police are lobbying the government to change the laws to allow them to freeze cryptocurrencies. Scotland Yard detectives say currently account freezing orders do not apply to cryptocurrency wallets, making it difficult for the police to stop criminals from transferring funds. Scotland Yard detectives are lobbying the government for new laws to let them freeze crypto assets of criminals. Mike Gallagher, a retired detective chief superintendent at the Metropolitan Police, explained that the laws on freezing assets are outdated. Therefore, cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, could not always be frozen or seized. The conversations that we're having is about how we align cryptocurrency to the same kind of approach that we have about cash-based criminality. He told the publication, he said, cryptocurrency is invisible, it's instant, it goes around the world, it's not tangible. The retired detective noted one of the responses we have is legislation emphasizing because cryptocurrency and criminality involving crypto has developed so quickly, and because legislation is so slow, we're having conversations now about realigning some legislation that currently applies to laundered cash to cryptocurrency. I want to see how this is going to happen. Understand when I bring you this news, it is never from a, well, sure, go ahead and try, bro, kind of way. It's more like that's not how it works. That's why I think a lot of governments are also scratching their heads in their backsides, nice way of saying it, to try and figure out what to do. You can't freeze these accounts. It's difficult to seize them. There are also passwords that people have, and there's also like other keys and all these other things, and you can't do anything significant with someone's account unless you actually have their private keys. And this is why I think we see governments like actively making sure that cryptocurrency exchanges are legal and they are under some type of a very, not unbiased, but that they kind of get a small little red carpet rolled out in front of them, just to make sure that people are using the cryptocurrency exchanges. But when we start getting more news that they're simply just freezing people's Coinbase accounts and stuff like that, as they've already been doing, people will simply move to like a desktop wallet or one that's on their phone or to a decentralized cryptocurrency exchange. It's very fascinating, and it makes me sad, but I think it's the only thing that they actually have is that they make sure that in situations like this, it's never we need to do X, Y, and Z because of whatever the case might be. It's always, well, people must be doing something illegal with cryptocurrencies, and therefore we have to make sure that we can freeze people's accounts and that we need the law to be able to see. So basically, it says it deeper in the article that they want to add the word wallet to the I think the word bank account or something like that, because the law explicitly says you can freeze accounts, but it does not say you can freeze cryptocurrency wallet. So they want that added into it. But once again, what does that do? If someone has anyway, there are a lot of ways to encrypt stuff and hold stuff. And there was a news story like a year or two ago. There was some seizure that happened from local authorities where they took someone's computer and they just couldn't get into it. Like they could not open this person's crypto account. And I mean, like they told the guy unlock it. He's like, no. And when you can't unlock it, you can't see what's inside of it. When you can't see what's inside of it, what do you do? So anyway, that's all that news. I actually remembered to have my phone with me because, the last like 38 times I didn't. So alas, here I am. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters, Professor Wally from Gunbot University. I just saw this like this morning. I don't know how I missed it, but I do apologize to Bitcoin Ben for just like really like I just had no indication that you also became a patron. Thank you. I do thank thee. I don't know why I like when I say thank you, I'm like I do like this like weird like Batman pose. Anyway, Professor Wally from Gunbot University Bitcoin Ben, Arachno Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plump Tomato, Umnu, Wishnicki, The Letter M, Stephen Dirks, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos Was Like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shawshow, VB Nerd, 21, Miguel Grolet, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Paternoster, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolek Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Steuer, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Graysick, Mohar Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Damian Setsuna, Richie Rich III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Mangialavori, Jim Gardner, Jeremy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodie McBoatface, Anytime Fitness, Mom's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, 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 very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel, who clicked the little join button below. Thank you to all the new Patreon members. Thank you to everyone who left a like, who left a comment, who has subscribed, and is still listening to me talking into this microphone. Yeah, it's a really weird situation. There's, once again, construction going on, so if you hear a bit of an echo or anything similar to it, I am in an echoey room, so you're going to start hearing some echo as I'm talking. I assume the main point was, now this is just me, was for people to absorb the news and get the news, but people really care about the clearness of my microphone. I apologize for not being in the same humble abode as I was before. Anyway, at the moment, Bitcoin is at $39,623 It is up by 12%. Ethereum is up by 7%. Binance Coin is up by 7%. Cardano is up by 6.85%. XRP is up by 6%. Uniswap is up by 10% as well. The cryptocurrency market is in green. A lot of the Satoshi values are in red. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are not pumping Bitcoin, but they're trying, everyone expects Bitcoin to continue moving higher. To be fair, around this time last year, give or take, we were around like a $7,000 Bitcoin. So this is still a pretty big improvement from where we were. But everyone is really looking for at least that 50K Bitcoin to kind of come back. Was our previous all-time high 65,000? I feel like that was definitely where we were. The market's in green, at least for right now. I do hope that it continues because there's no reason for us to be at these low prices. But there have been a lot of people who have been announcing and saying in the comment section and on Twitter and all these other places over the last couple of weeks that they were happy that prices were so low so that they could accumulate more. And listen, you had your chance, and I hope you took advantage of it. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.